This is called country. Started with a camera and a Facebook page. 99 likes, no budget, no stage. Just a voice in the noise saying this is real. Cannabis culture, how it actually feels. Late night green went live at 2 a.m. Harlem reporter hit the street again. No scripts, no polish, just the truth we found. Built a network from the underground. This is called country. No sticks, no seeds, just news. This is called country. Every day people breaking through. Not the stereotype they sold you, not the joke they made it out to be. This is called country.
What is going on, guys? We have a treat for you today. I've got this new thing that I'm going to do, and I haven't told you guys on the regular show, but what we're going to do is a one-on-one series. It's a chance for me, and these are pre-recorded, guys, so there's no confusion. This gives me a chance to spend a little bit more time, a little bit more one-on-one time with certain guests that I want to dig a little bit deeper into. So, guys, I welcome you to the one-on-one series, the Late Night Green one-on-one series with yours truly, PhillyFill. And today I have a friend of mine in the house. How appropriate that you're the first one for this series to be here.
It's crazy.
It's nuts, right?
Right, it's really crazy.
And our whole story's nuts.
Our whole story's nuts.
And we're going to get into
it. So get into the whole crazy
We're
story.
going to get into it now. But guys, welcome to the show, Claudia Post. Claudia is the CEO and founder of the Post agency and
Scarlet Express.
And we have that. Let's pop up a Scarlet Express logo because you didn't think I was prepared.
Yeah.
But there you go.
That's it.
And we're going to talk about Scarlet Express. Also, if you want to go ahead, Jeff, there you go. The Post.
Oh, our logo is great.
The Post agency. So, guys, welcome to this one-on-one. And Claudia and I are going to kind of get down and dirty and talk about who she is, what she does, how she got here, how we know each other. So let's start with, let's just get the big thing out of the way first.
Go ahead.
How we know each other.
How do we know each other?
Well, how we know each other, I think, I don't know if you've gone back to figure out what year, but I think it was 2002.
Shit, really?
It's a long time ago.
It's a fucking long time ago.
A long time ago. Pull that a little bit closer to you, that mic. Yeah, you're good.
Oh.
You're good. You're good.
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay.
And I had the opportunity to work for you.
Yes, you did.
And I believe I was a subcontractor. I don't think I was an employee.
No, you were a subcontractor.
I was a subcontractor, and I think I was there for 6 months, and we extended it to 12. Mm-hmm. And then after 12, we had enough of each other at that point.
And we said goodbye.
But it was a good experience, right?
Well, I mean,
do
you have
remember?
to tell me if it was a good experience.
Listen, I enjoyed my time doing that with you. Yeah. So Claudia had a company called Diamond Transportation, and you were, number one around here.
I was
in the courier space.
Yes,
but then you went beyond courier, and you, as a lot of companies do, not so many in the courier space, but as companies they continue to continue their services and add services on.
Absolutely. But what happened is that I always say, when you're a leader of your company, no matter what it is, you're in the crow's nest. You can see on deck and you can see out to the horizon, and you better have a view of both of those. And when I saw what was going on with the internet, I'll never forget this. I held a meeting at my house with my whole staff, bagels, lox, whatever. And I said, a tsunami is coming, and it's the internet, and we better fucking get on board. I had my sales manager, Tony, he said, oh, no, it's nothing. I said, we're changing. What was originally Diamond Courier, I said, we're changing our name. Everybody in the industry said, what is she doing?
Right.
What is she doing? Then they went to warehousing. Then they changed their name. So I say with a lot of humility, and humidity, that I was ahead of the curve.
You were ahead of the curve.
I really was.
And I was brought in to help you with some of the warehousing and stuff, and the expansion projects that you did there. So it was obviously a very good experience. I hope it was for you.
Yes, of course.
You and I had a very interesting, I think it was kind of, should I say, was it love, hate, or was it just like, you know,
Well, it wasn't hate. I don't.
No, it wasn't
it's
that.
strong personalities.
That's what I was going to say. It's two leaders, two strong
That's
personalities,
right, Nate.
and
That's absolutely right. You
but-
are 100% right.
But I must say that you definitely had a good, good taste in who you brought into your company. So
You said with a lot of humility and humidity too.
that's right, and humidity. So give us. So with that said, why don't you give us a little bit of like your background? I want to know
Very quick, high level.
Yeah, where'd you grow up?
All right.
High
I
level
grew
shit.
up in Philadelphia. I went to Olney High School back in the day.
Yep.
I went to undergrad at University of Alabama. Why? Because I was following a man, of course. What else was I doing?
Right.
And yeah. So for me,
I didn't know you went to Alabama.
oh yeah, I went to Alabama
I did not know
with
that.
the banjo in my knee.
And how long were you in Alabama?
I was there for
The
4 years.
Yeah, okay.
And then I got out of there, and then
Back here?
back here, and I couldn't decide exactly what I wanted to do. I got an offer of an assistantship at the University of Virginia. My life would have been totally different had I been a professor. I don't see myself that way. No, there's no way. God bless you.
Excuse me.
I'm too crazy to be a professor.
Listen, you would have torn into this kid's they asked the wrong question. You would have tore right into
I
him.
would have, absolutely. But anyway, and then I went to graduate school, and then I went to Europe, and I lived in Paris for 3 years, which was terrific. And I taught English as a foreign language to French executives.
Okay.
It was great. It was a great job.
And you must have made some amazing contacts.
I did. I made a lot. Well, I'm a big networker,
Sure.
as you know.
Uh-huh.
And then, so fast forward, I got a job with a same-day delivery service here in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I can say it. Heaven sent. I found out that he was a coke addict. He was doing lines on the counter. I brought
Allegedly.
Right, exactly. Supposedly, there was powder on the counter. Oh, look at that. Powder on the counter. Yes, there was.
FBI, open up!
Something like that.
Anyway, so long story short, I worked there. I brought on $1.5 million worth of business my first year, and he was an asshole, and he fired me because he thought he could keep all the business. But when I walked out that door, and this was back in the day, I mean, everybody that worked there left voice messages on my machine. Wherever you go, whatever you do, we're going with you. And that's how I started my company.
Did you know at the moment that they said goodbye that that's what your next step was going to be?
Well,
Or did it take?
it took me a minute. It took me a minute. I come from a long line of entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Square off on this mic for me.
oh, sorry about
Yeah.
that. Sorry. I'm trying to get my best angle here.
Well, just look at me because they're.
But
if
I
you,
don't want I have a thing about my neck.
But the cameras are all over, so you got cameras
Oh,
here
all right.
and there.
Well,
so
tell
if,
Jeff.
If you look at me, tell Jeff what. You tell him right now. Tell him.
Jeff, wherever you are, remember, I don't like this, so you can see my. Come on, Jeff, cooperate.
This is
will ya?
completely your fault, Jeff.
That's my fault. It's his fault.
It
Anyway,
is.
so
It's
long story
okay.
short, I walked out of there. Everybody that worked there said, I want to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so the legend goes is that we started the company also.
And what year was that?
That was 1990.
Okay.
1990. And I started at my dining room table with 4 people. And I ended up with 12 locations up and down the East Coast.
Now, let's explain this to people. You were doing bike courier in the very beginning, correct? And
I
foot,
did
foot,
bike.
and
No,
foot.
I did foot. I did bike. I did car.
Okay, you did car as well.
Oh,
Gotcha.
sure. You can't.
Gotcha.
No. So we went all over.
But quicker was probably bike, right?
No, because we would go to New York. We
Oh,
would go
so
to Maryland. We
I
would
gotcha.
go. I mean, we were all
All
over.
over, gotcha.
All over. We went all over. I don't do things small. It's either I'm going to do it big or I'm not doing it at all.
I obviously knew more about the logistics of what you did than the courier side of what you did.
Right.
But so in the beginning you had 4 people
4.
and you ramped that up pretty quick.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a I'm a seed planter. I'm a builder.
Yep.
It's what I do.
Yep.
I don't know how to do it any other way. And then people say to me, "What are you doing? You're working, and what?"
It's the only thing you know.
What am I going to do?
Right.
I mean, what am I going to do?
No,
all
when you're
day?
wired that way, you're
I
wired
can't.
that way.
I'm just very high energy.
And everybody can say what they want, but they don't understand. Like if someone's saying that to you, then they're not exactly the same dynamic of who you are.
No.
Because if you guys know Claudia, you know that you can't stop. And so let me say this real quick while I remember it. So after you and I parted ways, we didn't necessarily stay in touch or anything until I ran into you in I believe it was 2017 in Las Vegas at the convention center. We ran into each other and we both said the same thing to each other. You said, "What are you doing here?" And I looked at you, I'm saying, "What are you doing here?" And neither one of us knew that we had any association with cannabis. We never talked about it. You and I never smoked together, which is something we'll do for the first time today.
Right.
But it was a shock to me to see you there. And I'm assuming it was just a shock for you to see
it
me
was.
there, because we had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So we exchanged niceties, and I don't know. I said that I'm working on a project, and you told me that, hey, I've been doing this for a while, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started a long
and
time ago.
even then, we didn't necessarily connect until just recently. Drum roll. So it was like the day or two before 420. It was the Saturday before the Monday, so call it 4/18, I guess it was. We ran into each other while we were doing a broadcast at the NECAN show at the Philadelphia Convention Center. And I looked over and I'm like, I know you. And you probably had some.
Well, you walked by me. Because we.
I didn't see you the first time.
Oh, you didn't see me the first time? Oh, because I saw
I
you.
saw
I said,
you
wait a minute. I said, wait a minute.
That's Phil.
That's Phil. What the fuck?
So when you walked around and we were broadcasting, that wasn't you saw me before that.
I saw you before
and
that.
I didn't see you before that.
How could you have missed me, Phil?
But I was very happy to see Claudia, and I invited her immediately. Matter of fact, we had Harlem Reporter. He was moving around the crowd, and he had somebody there. He's like, yes, I have somebody from this particular booth. And I said, listen, we're going over here back to us. We've got Claudia. I'm talking to Claudia.
Right.
And so I went back and watched the recording afterwards, and he told the girl, because it was recorded, he goes, yeah, somebody more important came up, and that's So this poor girl was ready to do her thing on air live, and
Jesus.
Somebody more important came up.
Well, I could have waited. I mean, whatever.
And we always say this isn't CBS, but I guess that was more of a CBS moment for us.
Right.
But anyway, but so it surprised me to know that you were in the cannabis space. And so when did that whole thing start? Or I mean, you did overlap. You did two things at the same time, correct?
My son, who I'm going to give a plug to.
Let's do it.
My son is a famous glass artist. His name is Snick Barnes. Very famous. Look him up, Snick Barnes. He creates functional art. He's been doing it for a very long time. His work is magnificent. It's not like the, onesie, twosie, like people have these little, one-hitters and whatnot. I mean, you're talking about magnificent, yes,
magnificent pieces.
Yes, magnificent pieces.
I wish we had pictures to show, but I didn't prepare for that part.
And I didn't either. I should have done it.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can look him up online.
Guys, look him up.
Snick Barnes.
There you go, Snick Barnes.
And he's just great. And also, what I love about my son, he's really humble and sweet. It's whatever. Anyway, so he said to me, Ma, cannabis is going to blow up. What are you doing? We need professional people like you.
In the space.
I said, I don't know, Nick. And I started going to Champs shows because he was always in that winner's circle. If you go to Champs.
The competition.
That was my son. He always, he was number one. No, he was not he was in the competition, but then they had other displays of high-end glass. Mm-hmm. He was always there.
Gotcha.
And so anyway, I went. That market was, I couldn't figure out what to do with these people. I mean, this, whatever.
Different from what you were.
No, I love everybody. Don't forget, people grew up in my house that were glass. Luca grew up in my house.
Luca's a friend of our show?
Yeah. So everybody grew up in my house because of Nick. But anyway, It was cool. It was great. It was a lot of retail. It was also people who, I mean, the thing about our industry is that
People.
there's a lot of people who have never had any training in business or anything else. They open up a store, they think it's the golden ticket, and it's okay, I'm going to make $30 million trillion. And guess what? You have no idea what you're doing. When I do lectures, I say, how many people get a P&L on a monthly basis? What's a P&L?
Yeah, what's a P&L?
What's a P&L?
Yeah.
I mean, so I always feel like my legacy is really to be a coach, a mentor, a teacher, whatever. Anyway, so then I got into the business, and I said, I'm doing this. I'm doing this because, first of all, I love everybody in the business. I've made some great friends.
They are the greatest people.
Yeah.
It's been infiltrated a little bit with, big.
There's suits.
Sure.
Lots of suits.
Sure, but the people are some of the most amazing people
Yes.
that you could ever want to meet.
Yes.
And competition in the real world versus competition in the cannabis world is quite different because you'll help the person next to you to a certain degree, right?
Sure, I will.
And often plenty of industries have run wild in terms of that just doesn't happen anymore. So it's very organic. One of the reasons that I got into the space is I too started to go to Champs, but I went there to help some of these companies do some logistics stuff. And by going, I got to see things. I saw a trade publication. We all went out to dinner. There was like 20 some people, and you know how you go out with so many people, you know a couple people you go with, and it's a bunch of people you don't know, and it's a subgroup of 3 and another subgroup of 4 and 2, and it's that. And so I watched these guys negotiate the sale of a publication while I was there at dinner, and they were writing notes on a napkin, and you only hear about that in the movies, and you see it on the movies and stuff like that. I'm like, fuck, this is what's like happening right in front of me. Like, literally watching an industry kind of be born, because these are the things that happen characteristically early on in a new emerging industry. People don't use like the sophistication levels are far lower, and people will negotiate and write notes on a napkin. Like you get to see these things, and it was so eye-opening to me to know that this was like, kind of like the beginning. It was there before, but it was very...
it was there. And I wrote a column for a publication called Hot Breath.
Okay.
And he was a great guy. And he moved to somewhere. I can't remember. Costa Rica, I think. He moved to Costa Rica. He was a smart guy. He decided, I'm out of here. And so he was out of there. Anyway, I used to write for that. But I met so many incredible people, right?
Yep.
You.
Yeah, let's take a look at your son's glass real quick.
There's his glass.
Holy shit, look at
That's
that,
a holy
guys.
moly. That's a snick.
Wow.
And he will tell you this is functional art.
So that's a
See
fully
the
functional
stem?
piece,
Yes.
yeah. Now, I will say it's beautiful.
Look at that. I will also plug this.
Wow,
Let me
wow,
plug
wow.
this.
Please go ahead.
Nick Snick is the first person to use copper and glass. And here's an example of the copper and glass. Now he's doing silver and gold in different pendies and all kinds of stuff.
Amazing.
Is that amazing?
Amazing.
It's amazing. And you can see that you can use that. But
That is
that's real.
absolutely
That's
amazing.
real. That's real.
That is
Thank you for
amazing.
doing that,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Thank you. I
Jeff,
appreciate that.
terrific.
See, when we normally do things live, so this shit normally is live, so we have to be able to bring stuff up quick. So you get the element
great.
of, even though we're not live, you get the element of live.
I love that.
Yep. So thank you, Jeff. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Jeff.
that. So at what point, so your son highly inspired you
Yes,
through
my son inspired me.
through his work and his understanding of what he saw going on around him,
Look how smart he was to say it's going to blow up.
right?
Because he reads, he's in the industry.
He knows people.
He knows a lot of people. I mean, I think I invaded his space in a way, but it's his space. He's an artiste.
He really is.
Yeah,
That is some of the most amazing shit I've ever seen in terms of glass and how metal. Like I've never seen anyone incorporate metal into that.
And then,
I'd love to be able to ask him how he cleans that first piece.
you can ask him. He's in Philadelphia. You should do a glass blower show.
I was just going to say we would love to do that.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, his art was copied when he started doing copper and glass. People started to knock him off, and he stopped doing it for years.
Oh, because
because
copied.
people were knocking him off, and it looked like shit, and he did whatever.
Was it the Chinese?
No, it was here.
other
Here.
artists just copying
Yeah, other
them.
artists copying.
Gotcha.
Which is bullshit, but I guess it's whatever.
It's
a flattering thing.
In a way, it is, but it's also very common in this industry for people to steal other people's ideas because of the fact that it doesn't have the legal status that
Right.
other industries
Right.
have.
He can't have a
people,
trademark.
People find themselves getting ripped the fuck off quite often.
Yeah. So anyway, people were doing this copper and glass stuff. But he's so creative, as you can see. He's so talented.
fucking amazing.
So that's why I'm here today.
Okay, so tell us. So when you did make that decision and why you are here today, what did it look like in the beginning? Like, how did this whole thing start with cannabis? What was your first move?
Here's the truth.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was divorced. I had 2 children. I had to earn a living somewhere, and I'm creative. Now, I didn't want to get back into transportation, oddly enough. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, what can I do? So I kicked around, and I started an ad agency geared to cannabis.
And that started, what year was that?
Oh, God, I don't even know. Wait a minute. The ideas were in the teens, and the actualization is in the late teens, early 20s.
So when I saw you in Vegas at Champs, you were scouting?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was years ago.
Sure. Well, that's when I saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay. I'm just trying to put a timeline together.
All right, do your thing.
Very important.
Okay. I think the timeline is we're fucking here.
Yeah, we are here right now, and that is the most important
That is the
timeline.
most important thing.
And I'm glad you're here.
Right.
So, all right. So you started off doing ads. What did the industry look like? What were you doing? What kind of projects were you working on?
Oh, it was a struggle in the beginning. First of all, it's a young industry. As I said,
Even as we sit today.
off air, I said it is a tough industry, and there are many people, God love them, who have the courage and the wisdom to want to get into this business. They open up stores, but they don't understand the business of business.
Yep.
And that is the key, because when the market becomes saturated, as let's just take New Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens when you do that? I'm just like, I'm very transparent on my show. So
Oh,
when you do
maybe
that.
I shouldn't have said that.
No. When you do the hand on the table,
Oh,
it sends these reverbs back into the sound system, and it's a whole thing. I'm just telling you so you know.
Well, I speak with my hand.
I know.
All right, I'm going to
We'll speak with your hands.
but not on the table.
Just don't hit the table.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I went into this not thinking it was going to be anything.
Mm-hmm. Exploratory.
It is not the same as doing delivery service, because I could walk in and somebody would have 50 a night. 50 a night, that means 50 packages or letters a night.
So you know.
And I take it, and they would ring the phone before I got to the office. This business, it's taken me 2+ years to get my license in New Jersey. 2+ years. Meanwhile, I'm not anybody, but I have friends who have warehouses and manufacturing, and they have got to have everything lined up and paying for it while they're sitting on the process,
Right.
the road. It's a horrible thing.
Well, I mean, first of all, just by the regulation alone, a lot of these businesses are already conditioned to operate not so fast, right? Because they've been told to wait and wait, just like you've been told to wait and wait and wait. So when it comes time to move, sometimes you're like, they're kind of like stuck in like, oh, I'm still kind of like, this is how I was waiting. So, but you can't wait. You have to move.
Oh, no.
When it's time to move. I just saw a thing on, I guess, the commission in Jersey just added like another 300 and some odd licenses for dispensaries, I think.
Get out of here.
If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Guys, you can.
If I had my phone, I would look it up.
Well, Jeff will check it out for me.
Jeff, tell me about that because I can't even.
I have a if I'm wrong,
Why?
I hit that.
Wrong.
If I'm wrong, but I could be right.
See, he's doing this. Get that.
Well, then you gotta look at me. They won't see that.
I do look at you. That's when I want to see my face, not my half face. Do you know what I mean?
Give
like
her,
your face.
Give her another angle, Jeff.
Yeah, I hate that angle, Jeff. A face. Look,
All
hi.
right.
That's better.
There we go.
Okay. That's
So,
beautiful. Thank
There
you,
we
Jeff.
go. So the customers that you work with were not conditioned to operate in a way that
Or
you
spend money.
or spend money because they were just so early on. So
That's
what did you do to help them? How did they help you? How did it get
I
started?
think every encounter that I have with anyone, I mean, I'm not a Pollyanna, but I do pick up tools along the way, and I put them in my little sack, and I go on. So, for me, I'll continue to do that and learn. In the beginning, I mean, I smoked weed way long time ago.
Sure.
Very long time ago. And my son used to say to me, you don't fucking know what's going on in this business. I've been in this business for whatever.
Because just because you smoke weed doesn't mean you know what's happening.
You don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's true.
Isn't it?
It's very true. And so the services that you offered were, and so how do you do ads? Like, where do you do ads?
Oh, all over. We do Google ads. We do banner ads for companies. All kinds of. We do blogging for companies.
Sure.
Any kind of communication, we do.
So when you started, it was called Most Consulting, and Most Consulting then evolved into the Post Agency. And when did that happen?
This year.
Oh, that's recent.
Like now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm stepping in right in the middle of an identity evolution, so to speak.
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
The phoenix rising again. Okay.
Yeah, basically. So when did you start? When did you start Scarlet in relation to?
Oh my God! Scarlet was a dream for I would say 7 years.
Okay, so this has
And I
been a
didn't
minute.
start it. I thought about it. People getting licensed. I mean, most of the licenses in the beginning, as you know, were dispensary license.
Sure.
It wasn't.
They
like-
weren't infrastructure licensed. They were
no.
direct. Yes.
Right. Ancillary services were, what do? I want to get into the industry. I own a snowblower. I mean, do you know what I mean? It was like,
Exactly.
okay, well, have I got
We'll have a place for you, but we'll contact you in a few
Later,
years.
yes.
Yeah. We just don't know where we can use you
No.
yet.
Okay. Anyway, so that was really the genesis of me just starting just to work. I was kind of noodling around. I had interns. I didn't have full-time staff. I worked in my house. And it just sort of, then I started going to things and joining things and doing speaking and da-da-da. And you go, I'm just to the
You're
tape.
good.
We go to events, and you see people that you've seen over and over. You cuss them, it's I kiss you, I'm hugging you, I'm telling you, it's great. So it's like a little family, and I'm happy here. I had, or have rather, high aspirations for my delivery service.
Well, tell everybody what Scarlet is, because
okay.
I don't think we've covered that. So
Oh,
let's
okay.
talk. Yeah, let's talk
Oh,
about
that's
that.
very nice of you. Scarlet Express, New Jersey, is a company that will pick up and deliver product, be it a manufactured product or flour. Anything that has to get delivered, we will move. That's the license that is around the corner, unless they
So,
give me one more
so
thing.
from raw materials to finished goods, anything that's regulated.
That's correct.
Under this
I couldn't have said it better.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Phil.
You got it. And so where are you in this process?
Well,
You said you
every
just
week,
got approved.
I have the license and the approval, but then you've got all this ancillary.
Well, explain to everyone so they know, because like what often people don't know in this is the layers and layers of things that you have to go through, the hoops you have to jump through, the T's that have to be crossed, the I's that have to be dotted.
It's murder.
Give everybody a little taste of what that process is like, because a lot of people don't know.
Well, that's
how
because
much. Yeah.
it's the carrot.
Well, it's the gold rush. It's
Yes,
right. It's
exactly.
just the gold part at the end, rather than everything it takes to get to that
That's
point.
right.
So
That's why Levi Strauss. Made
So
a lot of
give
money.
everybody you mind
All right,
giving us
yes.
an example?
Why would I care?
Yeah.
No, I think because people do have questions about how to approach the industry, what do you do, and all that stuff. So the application process is onerous. It's just onerous. I mean, there's 100 pages, and then there's 100 tabs, and you have to fill out all the stuff, and it's a lot. I understand that, but and I will say this with love and kisses to the CRC, they really should have spoken to some people in the business
Ahead of time.
because there were so many mistakes along the way, and I know that I'm kind of jumping around, but let me go back to my original thought. So these kinds of, the opportunity for me to get in on the ground floor, but it wasn't clear what I was doing. I mean, it was chaotic.
Gray area.
It was chaotic. It was gray. It was all kinds
Not
of,
defined very well.
yeah, really hard.
Which
Really
is hard to do. You're making investments of time and money
Huh.
into a system that's not very defined.
No, and also the CRC acting for the first time within the boundaries of their rules and regs. There was a lot of gray areas that they didn't think about, and that's
Well,
why
they
I
also
say,
reverse course a lot of times too.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
I mean, they told certain people that there were going to be X amount of dispensaries in a certain town, and then the town just changed their mind and said, you know what, we need more, because again, more. So, and again, it's hard to watch. There's a tremendous amount of greed in this industry. That's, when you see, there's so many good people around, and while you see all the good people and all the friendly faces and all the folks that you would rather spend a lot of time with than some other people that we could spend time with, you still have this, you still see the greed. And not that you don't see it elsewhere, you see it everywhere, but man, you really see it in this space.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Don't you think it's because we look at our folks, our market, as everybody's like it's Goomba and we're all this, that, and the other, until when the money started to flow and they made money, and it's funny how people change.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'll just digress for a second. There's so many people in New Jersey that are underwater. Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Because their dispensaries are not making the kind of money that they thought they would make.
Yep.
Am I away from that?
No, you're good.
And it's really sad.
But you can get closer if you want.
Well, thank you very much. Hello. It's very sad. It just hurts my heart.
So a lot of dispensaries are not going to make it.
No, that's my prediction.
Already not making it.
Closing up, getting out.
It is tough to be in a business where on the same street you've got 5 or 6 of the same, again, this in essence not the same but the same thing, right? It's a dispensary. There's 6 of them on the same road, and that makes business tough for all 6 of them. Then you have to use business prowess, and you have to use, which is
marketing, branding, advertising.
Yeah, or do basic things like figure out how to open up a smell bar or something so people can smell the flower, like
people in.
something, because these guys get into it and there's minimal, some of these dispensaries have minimal things on the inside. They're set up in a counter system. There's no product to look at. There's nothing to see. Everything's behind the closed door, behind the wall. And even if you were to make a purchase and something comes out, it's packaged.
I think that's my client.
Yeah, well, but yeah, like that is an issue. It's an issue that has to be paid attention to. It really does.
Yeah, but I think people just want to have the good times, the rock, the roll, the this, the that. And
it's just the expectation that that's what.
Yes, exactly right.
That if I open this, no matter what I do,
I'm going to be a millionaire.
I'll be fine. I'll do okay. And you've got sometimes 6 different dispensaries right across from each other or in close
Go to
proximity.
Atlantic City, and when I think of just what you're saying, that's in Atlantic City. I mean, it is
Loaded.
loaded.
Well, Atlantic City is a great thing. Atlantic City told the dispensaries there that there was going to be X number of dispensaries, and they have so far surpassed
know.
that they've gone.
Yes.
So where are they held accountable in the sense that they have a level of responsibility for
They do.
people who have gone through the process? They were told something. They made investments based on that information, and then to have you guys change the whole competition scene. The whole landscape changes everything.
Yeah.
And
So
then what do
who's
you
making
do?
money? That's the question. Follow the money. If they're changing the parameters, but
Well, I think the sales numbers in New Jersey are pretty damn good. No?
well, I think there's money. Yeah. But what
so
the
so
percentage-
you're asking who's making the money? The state's making the money.
But yes, of course, I understand
mean-
it. But the individual stores need to make the money. So if there's 6 people on a street, as you said, nobody's going to make money. And what are they supposed to do? That's the question. Because people are closing up here, people are
That's
closing
right.
up there. I mean,
And listen, if you said to me, I know for a fact that the commission knows that they're giving licenses out to people who are not going to be able to stay in business or compete in the area where they're going to be licensed, they're still taking that money.
of course they are. What are
And
they
and
gonna
they're
say?
letting people go right out instead of maybe taking a more responsible route of saying that we should only have so many dispensaries.
Well, that's what they said to begin with.
But that's not what they did.
They're not upholding.
That's correct. And so, I mean, to me, they've created legal liability on their own behalf because there's people who spent money listen, the people who spent money on licensing and they knew what was going on, there's nothing those people can do. But I think the people who got lied to, the people who were specifically told one thing and then something else happened, I think there's recourse.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure of anything.
But nobody wants to take recourse against the commission that's currently that's presiding over your business. They're the
But if they
oversight.
didn't
They're
get
the
into-
oversight entity.
Yeah, but if they didn't get into business, some of these people, they're people with the licenses. They have the license, but they haven't actualized the license.
Right.
So,
And how many of those are there?
well, that's the research that I'd be very curious to
okay.
know about. I'd like to understand what the percentage is. Mm-hmm. And then and if you go further down, what's the percentage of MSOs or are we counting in mom and pop shops,
Well,
bodegas, what have you?
Yeah, and I don't know how they categorize things and so forth. But I mean, the bottom line is that they haven't created a very fair system because they haven't lived up to the words and the promises that they made. So I'll tell you what we're going to do is real quick, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We are real quick. And when we come back, we're going to talk about your agency today, the stuff that you're working on, what you're experiencing,
No problem.
where you think things are going. All right. We'll be back right after this.
Bye.
Is your cannabis company still using smoke signals to advertise? There's a better way.
said the space was too small.
Alrighty, guys, we are back. I am here with Claudia Post. She is the entrepreneur, CEO, Scarlet Express, Post Agency. I've known Claudia for many years at this point, so I hope you're enjoying our conversation. But what I wanted to talk to you now about was a little bit, because we got into a little bit of like a philosophical conversation, I would say, a little bit, which is nice. And you and I haven't all had that much of a chance to do something like that, so I really enjoyed it. So tell me about the agency today. What does it look like? How many people do you have? What kind of projects are you working on? And what do you like? What are some of the things that you like the most that you're doing right now?
That's well.
It's a loaded question.
Oh, sure it is.
It's a 6-part question.
Thank you very much.
You're
I
welcome.
have to remember. I'll plow through it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
There. Anyway, I did not intend to have a business. Certainly not anywhere near my first business, but a business. And I have employees who are fabulous. I'll give them a plug. Will
Shout out.
Pearson. Yeah.
Shout out to Claudia's employees. You guys are watching. Shout out to you guys.
That's right. Yeah, Elena, fabulous. And now Wyatt is coming on, and we have some 1099s.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's how it works. I don't think in today's world you can have departments,
No, you need to have subcontractors, and we live in that kind of
Right.
world right now. What are the kind of projects that you're working on? Like, what are you seeing the most of? I know you talk to me. You do a lot of design, package
A lot
design.
of design, package design. But we also do a lot of promotion, brand awareness, all kinds of
Do you
things.
do PR?
Yes, we
So
do.
you do the releases,
We do. We can. It's not our bread and butter.
right?
But the idea of being able to market on these new platforms where we could never before.
That's right.
And so how do we utilize those for the client? What does that look like? And because we're in cannabis, we're also restricted by many, many things. if
Many
you know.
things.
Many things. So there's so much that you can and cannot say. And we've been pretty lucky because we haven't really had any issues. But people that think they can do everything by themselves, and in this industry there's many of those people, their ads get shut down. And I mean, you stay and do what you do.
You have to listen. You have to conform to if we're talking about ads specifically, there are limited places where ads are acceptable in this space, and for those places where they are acceptable, they have to be watered down often in such a way that you got to be uber creative to get
right.
your point across because you're already working from the back of the line.
I know. Yeah.
And that's where you have to have an unbelievable amount of creativity to do that. So one of the reasons we're here, as you know, is to be able to create an additional platform where advertising is more freely able to be played. We don't fall under any of those same type of broadcasting or advertising rules since we're a private entity, and so I'm proud that we're at a point where we can now offer promotional opportunities and advertising opportunities to an industry that just hasn't particularly had that many. They've had some. If they've connected with you, you've guided them through a path to get to that point, but you still have to follow those same guidelines, and you're still
of course.
you're still chasing your tail in a circle as to what's acceptable.
Of course, or
and
they change it, or they.
what was acceptable yesterday is not acceptable today. I just was talking to Jeff in the control room before you got here, and we were talking about a piece of content that got restricted because I got to be careful what I say. There was something in the content. Jeff, tell me what I should. How do we say that again? If somebody self deletes themselves, you know what I mean? is I just, if you follow along, I can't say it because it's restricted. But when somebody unalives themselves, there was a game that we were playing. Now I don't know if we read a card. So we had Sasha, who was you can see it on the wall, the Dope Deck. That's a card game that was created for stoners. It's a cannabis related card game.
I should have brought mine.
So we played that game. I think it was last Thursday night. We had a really good time. So there must have been something in there that was relating to that, what I just said to you before. And I didn't catch it. I didn't remember it. And so when the video got put up, to schedule to go up, they go through and do the copyright and the checks ahead of time. And they said, no, we're not putting this video up.
Who they?
YouTube.
Oh.
We're not going to put this up because it violates this policy. So it was scheduled to go out. So we're going to pull it down. We're going to make adjustments to it. We'll get rid of that part and we'll put the video back up. But that video is unrestricted in a live format. So if you go back to the live, it's unrestricted. But cut a piece of it out that they don't like, that they can scrutinize to some higher level, then they can have a problem. We've continuously experienced the fact that something can live either on one channel and not the other, or it can live in a live environment, but when you cut that piece out and put it out as its own standalone, it's a problem. And so the inconsistencies of it must create an absolute nightmare for you, because you're navigating with what you have at hand. You don't have, like, you can't just do a radio ad. You just can't do anything.
No.
So you're really limited in what you can do. So, like, you know, how do you do that? Like, is it just creatively following the guidelines?
Well, we creatively have to follow those guidelines, but it's what your messaging is and your awareness. The people that I work with are young, they're hip, they know what's the lingo, bingo, which I have no idea. So let them, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You let them fly with what it is and make that impression, because that's where everybody is in the advertising.
But you have to tell them where the line is, no?
Well, if we write something, it has to be compliant, if you will. If we put up a banner ad, it's the same thing. I
mean, for example, if you want to talk about gardening on TikTok, that's completely acceptable.
Okay.
So people are just using a different word to represent what everyone knows what it is.
Yes.
Or what it's not. Or what it is.
But or what it's not.
Or what it's not.
But there are tons of people who don't. I did something very interesting. I looked at, of course I'm an entrepreneur, and of course I want more business, and I go out and shake the trees, and I like meeting people. So, I mean, I actually have a funny story. I met several people who eventually became my client. So I said, this is the way I get business. I go out.
You meet people.
You meet people. And nothing happens. Hey, do you need marketing?
And then it happens.
Do you need a new logo? Call me. But yeah, that's a true story. This is a true story. But anyway, I'm concerned that a lot of people go online and create these, whatever they're creating, and if they are scrutinized, they'll be shut down.
Well, what I find interesting is that unless a company goes down the road to either look for someone like us or look for someone like you, they're pretty much stuck with creating their own content for their own social media and having to figure out the guidelines, which are quite gray, as we both agreed, and inconsistent, as we both agreed. They have to. That's what they have. That's what you have. You can't, as a small business, you can't use any of the small business networks where you can get some aggregate advertising prices and get your ad. That's not available for you. So you have to be creative. And often people just say, hey, I'm stuck doing this on my own. But, in a way you are, and in a way you're not. If there are people out here who can help, provide the creativity, guide you on that. And if you want to, be a little bit more free, we hope that we're a platform for that where you can run the ad. We did the broadcast with High Times at the Steel Pier for their cup event. And we were simulcasted on High Times as well, which is
cool.
it was awesome. Some of the comments were awesome because what they were saying is they're like, wait a second, are you guys playing weed commercials? And it was almost startling to some of the commenters that were there or who were making comments because they're not accustomed to seeing a weed commercial in the midst of a broadcast. Like you and I are having a conversation and we go to commercial break and there's weed commercials like we just did. That doesn't happen. And so when you see it, you start to see it as the industry is coming around.
Oh, the industry has
it's
changed.
getting there. Somebody also made a comment that said that they had this premonition 20 years ago that there would be broadcasts with weed ads like they just saw on High Times. And so I'm happy that if we can fulfill that, if we can make that into a fruition or take it to fruition, that is very satisfying to me because we've given an industry that's had the door slammed in their face pretty much and given them and given them some options that they didn't have. This isn't going to be for everybody, but there's a lot of creative companies that want to do this and they want, they would love their name to be attached to a conversation that we're having like this that's industry related, informative, and
Of course, people want. Look, I know everybody has an ego, no matter what you think, and what you're playing at is being kind of equal in your ego play, but at the same time, you want to be out there. This is all very interesting psychologically, how all this comes together, don't you think?
I do.
Yeah, all very interesting.
And there's so many elements coming from so many different. You have a regulatory direction, you've got the business angle or sometimes the lack of business experience angle that you've discussed. There are so many different elements that go into that.
Yeah, of course.
It's amazing, actually.
The industry has, since I started, which is the Wayback Machine.
It's changed dramatically.
It's not even.
It's
unrecognizable.
And I think this is just a stop along the way to something else that's going to be unrecognizable to us.
I believe that too. Look, and not to bring up AI, but I will.
I was going to ask you how AI is.
I will bring up AI. Now, just like nuclear fission was.
Talking to Mike.
Oh, sorry. Hello, Mike. I said just like.
They're sensitive.
I know. Oh, aren't we all?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's
It's
okay.
because I'm a little tipsy.
It's okay.
A little woo-woo. A little zaza. Whatever.
It's all good.
Whatever I am.
It's all good.
He makes that crazy laugh.
That's Gilbert.
Oh, it's Gilbert.
That's Gilbert, yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so long story short, I just see that it's changed from this, when I just attended champ shows, that was one thing.
Massive
and crazy. And now, even now when we have these big shows like my friend Mark Shepard's NECAN and all those
Shout out
folks.
to Mark.
Yes, shout out to Mark. I love Mark Shepard.
Yep.
It's important. It's, you have to kind of recognize, what's out there, what the opportunities are. But you have to conduct yourself also, whether in those situations, networking at a thing, or, you're doing bad. You have to be very aware as an owner of what your brand is saying and what you're saying. I feel very strongly about that.
It's very true.
Notwithstanding the fact, of course, is what I do, but it is, people don't understand those. Why aren't I doing business? Why isn't this? Why is it? Nobody knows who you are. I mean, people become so egomaniacal that they think they did it and the world's going to jump up.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody jumping.
No.
Nope.
You better go wave some flags.
Yeah.
And bang on your pots and pans and shit.
Yeah, right.
Because no one's listening unless you make noise.
No, but that's also, it's this generational. I mean, I have a lot of intergenerational friends, young women that I mentor and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think they see as what's going on in the industry and where's the path here for them? I see such a lack of a lot of that connectivity where they think, yo, you're old school, or, they call me the OG. I don't care. But, but being that person in a swirl of all these young people, it's almost, for me, a little mesmerizing.
It is. It's wild.
Isn't it?
And
that's what's changed.
And what they want is not what everybody else wanted back in the day. It's not what the hippies were looking. I mean, it's different. Like, now we've got all types of different things. I mean, vape pens are the number one thing, and glass is on the decline, and like things that I never thought would exactly happen are exactly happening.
Yeah.
And this is still nothing more than just a stop along the way to where this is going to end up settling in somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not going away.
No, it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Do you have any thoughts on this whole hemp thing?
Yeah, I have thoughts on hemp. I have thoughts on, you know what? I'm so high, I don't even know what I'm doing.
It's okay.
So I'm looking at, I said, what is the name of that word?
I'm glad this was only a small dog walker
I know,
one,
it's
because
a
if it was
dog walker.
a big
Could you
one,
imagine?
if it was a big one, we'd be
God
like,
damn it, fuck, I can't think of what it was. All right, forget my thought. But
well,
I know it's changed a lot.
Tell
What
me
do you
how
want me to-
well, we were going to talk about AI. So
AI.
tell me how AI has affected what you do and how it's helped what you do, or how's it just?
This is what I want to say. AI, I started off by saying it, then my mind starts
It's
racing.
okay.
AI is it is a tool for your toolbox. It isn't your whole toolbox. It's just one little part of all the things that you do. Mm-hmm. Yes, you could ask Claude to do graphs and charts and things and bings. Yeah, that's great. And does it cut down on people's time? Yeah. But the idea is that while all that's happening, the person who makes the call on that still has input. That's very important to me. Like, in other words, you just don't push the AI out there. You have to make it your own. You have to make it sound like you, like a human being.
It's as good as the prompts that are put in.
Exactly right. And that you go over it again and redact and go, because there's so many things that
But
are...
it's changing industries. It's changing how graphics are done. It's changing how software is written. It's changing everything. I mean, you go down to even like, cultivators and how they use AI for production planning and scheduling. It's quite amazing.
It is amazing. I'll be out of the business by the time it goes on to its next rung on the ladder.
Where it's as fluent as...
Yeah. And it is interesting how the industry has changed. I mean, it is very interesting.
I mean, one of the things that I noticed is I had taken a few years off, and then I came back. And when I came back, I'd go to a show and expect to see some of the people that I saw before. And not only were they not there, but like whole categories of what they represented were not there. Like we look at, there's a whole realm of accessorial. There's glass companies, low level, mid level. So when I first started going to these shows, there were the importers, but then you had a ton of American companies.
You had a lot of American companies with glass.
And then I come back and I go to a show and I'm looking, they're not there. The people I expect to be there aren't there, and it's filled up with basically hemp provider after hemp provider. And then go back a year or a year after that, and it's all hemp. And now we're running to the end of that cycle at this point. Or maybe we are.
Oh, so you asked me about AI. I think AI utilized with discretion and intelligence is a great tool. I mean, it's a great tool. But nothing beats the graphics that, for instance, Will, who I work with, and Wyatt, Will and Wyatt, create. They're artists.
Yeah,
and you can't. And then that's why I love what we do. Yes,
right. But the gap is closing, and that's the thing. I think it's just not if, but when. It's just a matter of time.
I don't want to hear that.
I know.
I don't want anything to happen.
No, I know, and I hear that, and listen, the creativity of people can't be lost in AI. So
that's what I'm saying.
At some point, something has to.
Well, I think Yeah.
limits have to be put somewhere, I guess.
Yes. So what else did you ask? You asked me.
Well,
something.
what do you think's going to happen? Like, what's like? I asked you about hemp.
Oh, hemp. Let me go to hemp because I don't think I answered hemp.
Okay.
Let's just say you got a license for a dispensary and you spent upwards of, I don't know, 50, 70, 80,000 dollars. I don't know. That's not even including the build out. That's just the paper. And somebody opens up next door and they're selling THCA or THCP or XYZ, which when ignited gives you the same effect as his sister across the hall.
Right.
Cannabis,
Right.
marijuana.
Right.
And that's the problem. And because these folks...
It's a loophole.
It's a loophole,
That's
but
being-
guess what?
it's
I'm
being
going to give you
closed.
my political opinion.
Go ahead.
First of all, Mitch McConnell should have gone back into his turtle shell many years ago.
I have a button for him. Mitch McConnell.
Oh, you do?
Dumb bitch.
Go ahead. I'm not a big fan of him either.
No, he's a... Ugh. Anyway, so Mitch McConnell came up with this great idea with hemp. Why? Self-serving. Kentucky produces a lot of hemp. Great. I don't care. That's great for your state. However...
He also takes money from the alcohol industry as well,
Of course
lobbyists,
he does.
and plenty
We've
of
got
it.
somebody here that does that in Pennsylvania.
Bourbon,
No,
bourbon.
that's what they're doing. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to our friends
Hemp.
over here. So these people, what do you think about? What do you think? So Mitch McConnell, do you think that Mitch McConnell, this is my opinion, Mitch McConnell was an old buck and they wanted to do something nice for him in wherever the capital is in Kentucky.
Yeah.
What's the capital of Kentucky? Jeff, what's the capital of Kentucky?
It's Lexington, right? Or
I don't know. Look how bad we are. Anyway.
why are you asking questions we don't know the answers to?
Oh, I don't know. Because that proves that we're human and we're great people
That's
and
right.
we can accept it.
That's right.
So
You asked me
Mitch
what.
Mitch
Go ahead.
McConnell should not have. Well, no, I'll back that out. Mitch McConnell should have had somebody who knows what they're talking about help him write that bill because of what he left open. And now it is my belief that before he totally sails off on the ice floe down the river, that they want to, uplift him as a pillar of the Republican
And
Party.
his ship has sailed.
Oh my God.
I mean, Frankfurt is the.
No. No, it's not.
Well, we can't. Well, no one can hear Jeff, but Jeff's talking in our
Oh,
ears.
sorry.
Yeah, so Jeff's talking in our ears, and we're saying, no, it's not. And
I'm sorry.
I don't know. We're figuring it.
I
We're
asked-
figuring it out.
Yes, anyway.
We're figuring
Sorry,
it out.
Jeff. I'll come back and we'll look together.
That's hilarious. We'll figure it out.
All right. Anyway, yes. Tough, Mitch McConnell. So they're giving him this bone and they're going to redo all this stuff. But how are they going to put millions and billions of dollars? Where's where is that? Where's the thought process? People are making money. Make regulations. Get
So
a license.
here's what I
don't
think.
know.
Here's what I think. So when they did the hemp farm bill, what was it, 2017, 2018?
18.
It was never their intent when writing this that this market would emerge.
Of course not. It's Mitch McConnell.
So, at the end of the day, they didn't plan for this to happen. So it did happen. And it happens to be, in a way, like I think there's a lot of good and a lot of bad that came with it. So the bad is it really messes up legal retailers in the cannabis space. So that's the good side is it's opened up cannabis and hemp / cannabis to a world of people who would have never been able to experience it before, in my opinion. So there's a good side and there's a bad side. So these guys have basically said, hey, it got out of control. Once you start seeing these products in gas stations next to candy where kids can do it, you're asking for trouble, and you're going to get it, and it's going to happen, and it's happened. So they've well, I don't even know if we'll go any further. It will play its course. Come over here. You can sit that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's run its course. They're finally tired. And what I don't like is I don't like, doing things in the shadow of an evening when the government shut down and they decide that they're going to put this THCA and basically.
This is what they do.
Okay, this is what they do. I don't have to fucking like
I
it.
don't like it either.
Yeah, so I don't like that, but it was inevitable that was most likely going to happen. Now, how they did it, I think, is just cheap and sly, and it's exactly befitting.
Mike Johnson.
It's befitting of politicians in general, and I don't expect anything other than what they did.
Sad.
But we're at this point now where it's a serious issue because there's a significant, if you want to look at where the money is in all of the cannabis and hemp space, it's in hemp. It's in beverages and it's in products that can be sold across all 50 states. The only way a company can really make money is to not have the regulation that we have on a state-to-state basis as it relates to cannabis, and that you can do interstate commerce where, you can sell across these borders.
What I wanted to say to you, that would be what you asked me what I would do next.
And that's what needs to happen.
Interstate
This
commerce.
is why hemp companies have grown so successful. This is why hemp companies have the money. This is why when we go to a show, we get to see all hemp companies, and we don't get to see what you and I had seen in the past before that. And so it's a really interesting dilemma because, as I said before, there are benefits to why this has happened, but the seriousness of the issue is that now it's become such an industry. There's a lot of people who are employed by this industry.
Yeah.
It's bled over into other industries because they're supplying raw materials and goods and cannons and all of these things now that have evolved into it. They want to take that away. And so what I see happening and what we're already seeing happening is on a state-by-state basis, they're looking at it individually. So the survival of these companies, first of all, only the big ones that are operating, that have good distribution in all 50 states are even going to have a chance to stick around.
Wait.
Go ahead.
We understand distribution.
Yeah.
So I look at it as a real nice golden ticket. Looking at the market, I mean, of course, you'd have to go out and raise some dough, but interstate commerce is where it's at.
But you're not going to get that until it gets descheduled. So it cannot be
It's happening in Washington, Oregon, and California.
Amongst themselves, so it can go across. Okay. Well, I mean, and this is what happens, when you don't have a direction from the federal government, you allow states to do what they want to do, right?
But that's America.
But at the same time, it contradicts
America.
it contradicts federal law at the same time.
It was America.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it contradicts, while they set up their own little program, it does still contradict federal law in many ways across state lines. So what we have is a situation where now these states, because of the decisions that Washington made, they are now having to make some decisions on, do we still want to have, New York or New Jersey at the Newark Arena or the Madison Square Garden that did a deal to have hemp drinks. They all now have pressure. This is big business now. Now the state can't just say, okay, the Fed says by middle of November, no more hemp-related items. The only way, and Congress will not save this. There's no way that this is getting saved between now. New Jersey just passed a bill to allow the sale of this stuff up until that point, because they must have had an early termination date. Now they put new legislation in that takes them to November. Can you imagine that you're literally writing legislation that takes you from June to November?
I just can't imagine putting all those people out of business either.
And I don't know how they're going to do that. And so something is going to happen either on a state-by-state basis, or there'll be some change at the last minute federally that allows for these low THC drinks. I don't know how. I don't see it. I don't see the path for that. But it certainly could happen. They've got the power to do that. So it's a messy situation.
Look, there are lobbyists that we have here.
That's right.
In
Correct.
Pennsylvania.
Correct.
And from
And
what
everywhere.
And every state has lobbyists, which
Correct.
it's good and bad. Anyway, I mean, the fact of the matter is there are meetings now in Pennsylvania to create a cannabis regulatory commission. As we speak, it started. They don't talk about it. It's under the radar, but also there are committees that are activating now, because I've spoken with a couple of lobbyists. I mean,
And we've had some of the authors of the bills come on the show and tell us about it. We've been covering this and covering it and covering it, and you know, Pennsylvania is a whole nother conversation to have. But if I jump back to hemp for a second, excuse me, what doesn't make sense is that if the states don't do something individually. So if the states,
they have to do something.
but if they don't, what's going to happen is
the feds will come in.
No. What will happen is that they will say, and they've already said it, that the products that we're talking about, these hemp drinks and other hemp-related products that we're talking about right now, would then have to be sold in the dispensaries. Now, the dispensaries can go, well, that's great because this is where the product should be sold. If we've got the license, we went through all the hoops, we did all of the payments, we did all of that to be able to sell this kind of product. So they may be happy. I don't think the industry is going to be happy because you're not going to sell hemp drinks through a dispensary at the same rate as somebody who's picking up a 4 or a 6-pack at the grocery store while they're picking up other things. It's not the same market. So you've dipped your toe into the everyday market and people want the product. It's a way not to drink alcohol. So there's a ton of
there's been a lot
there's
of
a
influence.
ton
Yes.
of benefits, ton of benefits to
Yes.
doing that. But when you take it away, that same customer doesn't go to the dispensary to
You
now.
know where they go?
Where do they go? Back to the liquor store.
Oh, no, not necessarily, but also they go to their dealer.
Okay. If they want, yeah.
If they want to.
But they're not getting hemp drinks from their fucking dealer.
No, not hemp drinks. But
So
they're
if they
getting other
want
shit.
hemp drinks, they're either going to go, if nothing is done and these drinks are and subverted back to the dispensaries for sales, there are people who buy things today at the supermarket or at the normal store that they go to buy other things, where they pick up a 4-pack of hemp drinks. They're not going to drive to the dispensary, be in an environment that they may not.
Convenience, it's marketing.
But you know that the everyday person who doesn't go into the dispensary is not going in there to
No,
buy the
that's
hemp
what I'm
drink.
saying. It's
So
just convenience.
you will get some people to do it, but you'll get a lot more who don't. And so the category won't be the category. So the only way to save all these jobs and all of this industry, right, is for either two things to happen. The states do individual deals with those manufacturers, or the Fed comes off their high horse before the middle of November and changes it.
It's going to be Congress.
What's it
It's
gonna be,
yes,
Congress?
Yes, absolutely. And why do I say that? Because
They almost have to, but
they have to.
but I could see them not, and I could see this getting
How
all
many-
fucked up.
How many times at the last minute they were going to do this, and then they cut some deal and whatever, and the whole thing changed? I don't see, personally, the destruction of an entire segment of
an industry.
of this economy.
There's a
Putting
lot
all
of
those people out of work.
A lot of people employed.
And we do, and that's a wonderful thing.
It is a wonderful thing.
so-
While some people hate MSOs, and I'm not a big fan of MSOs myself, but the fact is there's a lot of people that are employed through them and through
Of course.
and through all of these other
But we all
factions.
are like, I'm an ancillary service. I'm not the only one. I have competition, but people are employed in this.
But there's people in the travel space. There's people in accounting and law, and there's
Of course,
that
it's
all
called America.
It's all specialized in this industry. They're all affected by the decisions that are made from politicians, and so we should all keep that in mind when we're thinking about what you want, what you don't want, what's right and what's not right.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Getting in Pennsylvania, when I had to get my PUC license, I had the most number of people object to my application, the most in the history, because they knew I was a salesperson from the street and whatever it is. We're talking about government. We're talking about laws. We're talking about injustice. And for me, that's just all bullshit. I mean, it's just absolutely all bullshit, because you talk about politicians. We don't trust our politicians. Hell, we don't even trust our Supreme Court. I'm in that line too.
Yeah.
I mean, we elected a man who, well, I don't want to talk about it, but long story short, we have
You are fake news.
I'm just
I am
joking.
fake news. Thank you very much.
Him?
I am fake news. Yes.
Well, listen. So give us a little bit, because you and I can talk about this shit all day.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit. What should we anticipate? What's new coming up with what you're working on? Tell us what's next for Scarlett. What's next for Post?
Scarlett is going to get her license. She's going to have a party.
And-
she's going to blow up marketing, advertising, posting, blog,
And you'll go everywhere in New Jersey.
everywhere. Yes.
Gotcha. And do you
everywhere.
have any anticipation on when this
I'd
is?
like to open up in Pennsylvania, huh?
Would you have it like?
Well, I'm at the last
I
phase.
know, but what do you think? Like, you gotta guess.
Another fucking week. I don't know.
A week?
Well, because now I have to get a security camera and some other shit, and every 5 minutes. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
But wait,
Yeah.
there's more.
Except they're not selling you something. They're just
No.
instructing you what you need to purchase.
What I have to take money out of
Yeah.
my pocket when I'm.
Because they couldn't think of it ahead of time.
Thank you. And I can't really market and blow up my company because I don't have a license.
Right.
And because there's badging and all this other shit, going direct to someone and rather than working under their license is what I would have to do.
And will you have people working under your license as independents?
I have independent contractors.
Exactly. Gotcha.
That's what other model would I possibly use?
Well, listen, Claudia,
And
you've
people
got
don't
all
underst-
kinds of shit up your sleeve.
Yes,
so
I do. I do have that.
So I don't know. Like, I ask these questions because you never know.
Well, I mean, yeah, I see.
Sometimes I know the answers to the questions I ask ahead of time.
Of course you do. But here's the story about ICs and the industry. Problem is, like I used to say, somebody could sit next to me and think they're going to like pick my brain and they're going to find that I would talk. They wouldn't even know how to get to first base.
Right.
I've been around 4 times.
Right.
The same thing with utilizing independent contractors. As you know, as I know, that's also complicated. Certainly insurance and all that other stuff. So somebody could sit next to me and they'd say, "Oh, how do I manage to hire those people?" And that's all I hear from my competition. May I say, is a lot of people say that they don't have consistent drivers. They don't keep to their times. Well, fuck, I did thousands of
I
jobs.
know. Well, when you're in logistics, you understand time for
Time.
fucking sure.
That's exactly what
That's the first thing you understand
That's
is time.
It is the first
Because
thing.
it's the first thing that can go wrong is you're being late,
And,
right?
Yeah, of course. If you're carrying a $7 million bid to Harrisburg for something from a customer who asked us to go to Harrisburg to file this application, $7 million bid, and there was an 8 or 10 mile backup, and we didn't make it. That was not a happy phone call. But imagine somebody who's never delivered a package coming.
Yeah,
to
I can share some horror stories
Yes,
with you too.
I know.
I got ones that you won't even fucking believe, but I'm not going to bother everybody with
No,
that
no,
now.
no.
So Claudia, tell everybody this is awesome. Like, what a great
Yes.
conversation. Why don't you tell everybody how they can get in touch with you if they want to do some stuff with you?
Oh, that would be super.
Yeah, tell them
And
how.
also, I love mentoring people. And so if you want to talk to me, email me at cpost@thepostagency.com. That's cpost@thepostagency.com.
You heard? You heard, guys? The Post Agency. Go check Claudia out. Claudia, I appreciate you being my first guest here on on
I'm honored.
on my one-on-one.
I'm honored.
I'm hoping that this was the kind of intimate conversation that we were all hoping for. But yeah, guys, I think there's a lot to learn in this conversation. There's a lot of life lessons, and I think there's a lot to learn about the industry, both what happened before and what we're seeing now, and us clearly knowing that we're not wherever we're going to be, maybe as soon as a year from now. So in this moment of time, it's a very dynamic, interesting type of situation. And, you know, if you're in this space, it's going to require creativity. There are no free licenses to just because you're in the cannabis space that anything that you would do is going to work.
No.
And that's from, you can be arranging, you know, cannabis travel trips, or you can be trying to run a media company, or you can be a marketing company. You can be any of those things, and that doesn't guarantee you anything in this space for that matter. And so, you know,
I will say one thing.
Go ahead.
Today, I say young people don't understand the value of having a conversation, building rapport. And that is what has changed so dramatically, because I could walk down any street in Philadelphia and I could go into an office and they'd say, sit down, because they'd know me because I was on the street. This is very hard for young people to understand. If you want to build, you still have to build relationships. Mm-hmm. You still have to build your network. And your network. I mean, I'm just such a big proponent of networking, and networking isn't an art. It's just not collecting.
Oh, it is not. I mean, networking is very much an art. And when you see networking, I'll tell you what networking looks like when it's not a fucking art. You go to a networking event and people are just pitching and pitching and pitching. They walk from one person to the next, hand you a card, and start pitching. They don't ask you who you are. They don't ask you what you're about. They don't even ask you what the fuck you do. They just want to tell you what they do.
That's not sales.
It's not sales, nor is it networking.
No, it is
And
not.
so
Although I do give out my cards. I'm old school. I believe in business cards.
I do too. But I also carry electronics, so if somebody wants to do a quick scan and it goes in their phone, we can do that. And so I think, you know, when you work in a transitional time like this, there are people who want it one way. I think you do it both. I think you do it both
why
ways.
not?
And now it's shit. You can get wristbands where you can walk around and people just touch their phone to your wristband and they've got all your information. So we put the effort in.
But it's also
the tools are here.
Oh, sorry. It's a thing. It's a connectivity.
Always, and
it's looking in your eyes.
It always will be.
Well,
always will be.
Thank God. That's a good note to end on.
Always will be. So, guys, if you like this, give us a like, follow, subscribe. Late Night Green. We're on Tuesday and Thursday nights. We are live at 8 o'clock. We do live interviews at 8, and we do our late night show at 10. Guys, make sure you tune in. We're going to keep doing these one-on-one interviews because they allow for us to do it a little differently. We get to do a little bit of a deeper dive, and I think that's kind of cool. So we're going to keep doing it. We'll evolve it. If you guys have idea as to what we'll make this better, you know what? We'll do the machine next time. You're too high at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, make sure you give us a follow, follow, subscribe, and thank you for joining. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Thank you.
5.8K subscribers now, 700 videos, we figured it out. The Canologist, the news at 6, 420 specials, 10-hour fix. Alfonso on the corner with the mic held high, legalization fights we amplify. Pennsylvania's listening, the tide is turning, every upload